these things, why didn't you?
I don't have to answer that. But doesn't it gall you that I could have done something to save 3,000 lives, including your own? And not only did I not do it, but I won't tell you why.
Yes, it does make me angry. Angry for using it as an argument about leadership. I know what you're trying to do. But I do firmly believe that if he were to step in every time something as awful as that happened, we'll be worse off.
How could you be worse off than dead, Father Judge?
I've never bought into that argument. I do firmly believe that everything happens for a reason.
But this man is responsible, through his lack of action, for the deaths of thousands of people. I would never have permitted any such event to take place. Do you want to know why I couldn't? Because his laws forbid it. And believe it or not, Father Judge, even I am not above the law. How does that make you feel?
Honestly, it makes me feel sad. But I think the world has learned something from that day. It's learned to see itself in a new light. Bad things happen to ensure growth. That belief outweighs any other feelings I may have on the matter.
I respectfully disagree. Bad things are simply that. Bad things. They cause pain and they cause sorrow. I can prevent them. He allows them. Ask yourself, which one of us is the bad one? Your Honour, no further questions.
Witness is excused. Defense, you may call your next witness.
Defense calls Edith Sedgwick to the stand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
Please sit.
Thank you, sir.
You are Edith Minturn Sedgwick, born April 20th, 1943, and died November 16th, 1971.
Yes.
Edith.
It's Edie.
Oh, excuse me. Edie, your official cause of death is death by barbiturate overdose. Is that correct?
I think so. I mean, I wasn't around to hear it.
I suppose you're right. Edie, would it be correct to say that you had a drug problem in life?
Oh, it was, but only for a while. I mean, I didn't do drugs before the factory.
What drew you to the drugs?
It was the rush. It was incredible. It was like flying and then falling. It was a ride.
Do you miss it?
Miss it? No. No, it was the best time, but it was the worst time.
Your Honour, with respect, this is entirely pointless.
Your Honour, I disagree. Edie, with all due respect, you hit the bottom, and you managed to make it back to a level of living. And you did this without divine intervention. Your Honour, I'm attempting to show you what humanity is capable of.
Please continue.
Thank you, Your Honour.
Thank you, Your Honour.
Edie, could you please tell us what brought you into the drug world?
I went through a lot, I guess. Drugs and sex, a lot. I didn't know much when I got to New York. They called me a poor little rich girl. And he showed that pretty well. I was into everything and everyone was into me. It was a ride. My life before Andy was so sad and I needed to do something new. My two brothers, who I love very much, had just killed themselves and that was very sad. I needed to get away.
What happened to your brothers, Edie?
Minty hung himself and Bobby drove his motorcycle into a bus.
I'm sorry, Edie. That must have been very hard for you.
I was so screwed up. Wow. You know, I had to do something, so I went to New York, and then I met Andy, and we made a few movies, and I was popular. I had to do a lot, but it was far out. It was an experience. It was fantabulous. I got to dance every day in there, and that was okay because I could just walk around in my leotards, and that was okay because I knew I was hanging with a bunch of faggots. But if I went outside, I would put on a coat. I can laugh about it now, but I blossomed into a healthy young drug addict. It really wasn't very funny for a couple of years. I didn't have anything else then. I just had a drug and a smile, and that's all I needed. I was everywhere.
So you had all these people around you, pushing things on you. But also you looked for some of these things?
Oh yeah, it was like that. My world was mad, and I was in the door, and I just had to go with it, or I would have been gone. I once stripped off all my clothes, jumped downstairs, and ran out on Park Avenue and ran 2 blocks before my friends caught me.
Edie, your drug abuse took over your life. But you managed to make it home, didn't you?
Yeah, that didn't last very long, and I was back in hospital. I married Mychal in July, and I was dead by November. I guess marriage really is the end. He's a very good man. I loved him very much. He did what I wanted, and I loved him for it. I asked him for my drugs, and he gave them to me. I loved him very much.
Edie, you are aware the report says you died by suicide.
Oh, I didn't kill myself. I just died. I slipped away like, I just slipped away.
And why do you say that?
Because I didn't want to die then. I didn't want to die, honey. I was only 28. I wasn't done living.
Even though you'd been in and out of mental institutions since you were a child, and your quality of life had deteriorated at that stage.
Well, just because it's tough, you don't give up. That's what my brothers taught me.
Edie, by your own admission, they killed themselves.
Yeah, but they weren't giving up. They were moving up. They finished with this world and on to the next. I wasn't finished.
Your lust for life, Edie, where does it come from?
What?
Did anyone else give you this lust for life?
No. My brothers helped me. They pushed me on.
So it came from within you, not from, for instance, me.
Well, I don't know your real name, honey, and I've never seen you before I came here today.
That being the case, would it be fair to say that you lived your life free?
Free as the birds.
Would you change it?
Yeah. I mean, I lived, but it was painful. I didn't love for a long time. I might not have let them force that abortion on me. I might not have gone to see Andy and the drugs. I might have met Mychal earlier. But if all that hadn't happened the way it had, I might not have met him at all.
Edie, I don't think you are particularly religious.
My family were. I was setting free.
And you felt free to do that?
Yes.
Thank you, Edie.
For what?
For showing that there are people in the world that don't feel burdened by me, that can live and die, and not have to care what I think. Edie, I want you to know that I love you,
Objection, Your Honour. Defence is trying to influence the witness.
and that you are free in life and in death.
Sustained. Defense, you will restrict yourself to asking questions.
Yes, Your Honour. Edie, if I may ask, you say you were forced into an abortion.
Bloomingdale was strict. I couldn't have a child without being married. But I guess it's for the best. I mean, can you imagine bringing a child into the factory?
Do you think you would have made a good mother?
Blah. I don't know. I'll never know. Does that make me bad?
What?
The abortion. Am I bad for going through with it?
Edie, I will tell you this now. Right now, the only opinion that matters is human.
So, if you had to judge me, you wouldn't let me burn?
I'm not judging you, Edie. Quite the opposite. You're judging me. Edie, to sum up, you led a very human life. What made you keep going for as long as you did?
I survived because I had to. I had to get by from day to day because I wouldn't let myself be the third Sedgwick in the same family to kill themselves. And then Fuzzy died, and I had to go on for Mother. No, for me, and I did until one night I didn't. Every day I lived.
Do you ever blame anyone for your circumstances?
Oh yeah. But not you. Really, I don't see why I would. I lived my life, and that's how I wanted it, and that's how I had it.
Thank you, Edie. No further questions.
Prosecutor, your witness.
Hello, Edie.
Hello. I like your tie.
Thank you. Edie, you say you want a human life, one free of any god. Does that mean to say that you don't believe in a god, or you don't believe in the idea of one?
I don't mind at all. God is a God, I guess. But that doesn't mean I have to follow her. I mean, look at Mychal. I bet he doesn't follow Buddha.
No, I don't suppose he does. So, what you're saying is that even if there was a god in power, you wouldn't follow him?
Well, I didn't vote for you. I wouldn't follow you if I didn't vote for you because I'm an American and I have rights.
Lady, we're not
Talk
talking
about you? Yeah, we are. You want to be the boss, applesauce.
I want to help Edie.
Go take heroin, then help. Life is life, and you want it. Maybe we don't want you. Maybe we don't want her. Maybe we don't want Buddha.
Wait, what?
Oh, come on. You're not going to tell me that in your big, bad plans you didn't think that maybe we wouldn't want either of you? Of course you thought it. You thought it.
Of course I have. And so has he. But he would never give you a world totally free. He has always sat up there, watching and listening to everything you do. Does that not make you uncomfortable?
No. My life is an open book that you read over coffee and Coke. Then you move on. We all move on to a new thing.
I only know what you have told us here today, Edie. I don't eavesdrop on people.
Sure, so you want to take over the planet just so you can walk away.
Edie, this planet is sick. It is hurt. You are a very good example of the pain that runs rampant through this world. Would you wish your life on others?
My life is mine.
Yes, but there are 1,000, 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000 other people out there, like your brothers, who are in the same boat or worse. What would you do for them? Pain, suffering, I can take these away.
Objection, Your Honour. This is bribery.
Sustained. Prosecution. If you can't build a decent case, then you will be removed from these proceedings and we will go straight to the verdict.
My apologies, Your Honour. Edie, I'm sorry.
That's okay, just don't do it again.
Edie, may I ask you about your abortion?
Again?
Please, Edie, I need to.
Then of course you can.
Edie, the situation at the moment has God in the ruling seat and her laws are sacred. Edie, by his own laws, your abortion was a sin. How do you feel knowing that the people who performed this operation on you are sinners in his eyes?
Well, that's a big one, isn't it? How do I feel? How does anybody feel? How do you feel?
I can't say, but consider this. If laws are set, then they are meant to be followed, which means these people have committed mortal sin. Would you agree with that judgment?
Blah.
But they performed this against you. By rights, you should see them punished. Don't you want that? Weren't you forced to have this procedure?
Yes, I was. And no, I don't. I think that argument is old. I think people have moved on. We should have the right to choose.
So you would not agree with this
No.
judgment. But then by definition, you yourself are a sinner. To deny God's laws is to deny God himself, and therefore you break the first commandment. You're a sinner, are you not?
You're trying to back me into
Edie,
the point.
please. You're on the stand. You can't leave. Please, sit down. Edie, I am merely telling you his laws. And I can see you don't agree with them, and of course, I don't either. That is the point of this entire proceeding. Let me ask you this. Would you want a God that uses these laws and therefore condemns people for what you think is a human right? Or do you want a God that recognizes this right and allows it?
What I want? What I think everyone wants is to do whatever they want. Not to have a god or a president or a king or a sultan or a leader or whatever. Not to have somebody better than us. What I want is to go out and live. Well, I want for people to go out and live, and if they make a mistake, it shouldn't fuck them forever. I mean, I want to turn the whole world on, just for a moment. just for a moment? I mean, both of you argue over what people do and how you'd be better for them. But why don't you both just spend the rest of forever humping each other and leave us alone? I know